In the previous video, I showed you how I tried to walk 100,000 steps in a day and failed. I was supposed to walk from Frankfurt Tor to Sanssouci Palace in Potsdam and all the way back. I made it to Bahnhof Wannsee, walked 34,000 steps by the time I got there, but didn't feel accomplished. I rushed from the start and ended up with inflamed kneecaps for 3 months. Now that's finally behind me, it's time to refocus my efforts and attempt this challenge in a slightly better, more structured, more prepared way. Here's what I'll do differently the next time I try to walk 100,000 steps in one day, and 18 tips you can use for your attempt or fitness challenge. Disclaimer, I'm no sports professional, so please consult with your doctor or sports professional before you attempt to do stupid things such as internet challenges like this one. Tip number 1. Crank up your fitness routine with more steps. You don't go from couch potato to marathon either. Gradually prepare your body for longer hikes. For me, that is starting to walk 10k steps every single day. Last time I went from 3 to 5k steps per day to 35, which is a bit exaggerated. That didn't go well, and it's much better to make the transition gradual, in steps. Tip number 2. Set milestones. For example, set yourself a goal every few weeks to reach 20, 40, 50, however many k steps for that week or that month. Tip number 3. Find out your average step count per hour. During my training, I intend to walk for 30 minutes or 1 hour straight. Obviously, track how many steps I'm walking, then write down the average steps count per hour and use this to get a better impression of how much time I'll need to complete the entire challenge. Tip number 4. Start the challenge at either 12 or 5 a.m. This way you won't feel rushed and you can take however many breaks or naps as you want. Tip number 5. Do the first 50k steps on a treadmill. It would be great to get the biggest chunk in indoors on a treadmill where it's warm, where it's flat. If there's one thing I've learned from my late attempt, it's to waste as little energy as possible on watching my every step. Think bumps, hills, traffic lights, traffic, cracks in the road, pebbles, sand, you name it. Tip number 6. Fill up a device such as an iPad with plenty of movies and series to binge watch, and bring along a Bluetooth headset as well to make time fly by, because 50k steps, that's gonna take a while to walk. David, thanks for this tip. Tip number 7. Avoid an elevated route by all means. Watching my every step drained my energy, it slowed me down, so avoid any hills, mountains, rocks, traffic lights, stairs, everything mentioned in the previous point. I found the perfect combination for me, which would be to do the first 50k steps on a treadmill, and then when I get bored or when I hit the milestone of 50k, to switch over to, what am I counting? I don't know. But to switch over to Tempelhoferfeld, which is a former airplane landing strip with 6 kilometers of asphalt where I can just walk in circles on flat terrain where there's plenty of space until I hit the 100k or until they kick me out when the park closes. It's a public park now. Tip number 8. Wear the phone in a phone necklace for convenience. This way I don't have to fish it out of my backpack every hour. I can just let it dangle, have an easier time documenting the journey. Tip number 9. Invest in or borrow a backpack with adjustable, chest straps and hip straps. My usual backpack, it's a day pack. It doesn't have either. I put quite a lot of stuff in it, so the weight of the food and the gear was pulling on my neck and my back. The longer I was walking, the more annoying this got, and this is something I want to prevent the next time. Tip number 10. Get adequate rest the day before. That means your usual 7 to 8 hours of sleep, since you're going to attempt a heavy fitness challenge. Don't be like me, don't sleep 3 hours and 45 minutes the day before. That's not going to help you. Not sure what this is. Tip number 11. Stock up on plenty of snacks. Think energy bars, energy gels, energy beverages, smoothies, plenty of water to replenish all the calories you are going to lose during the hike. Tip number 12. Bring along a smartphone battery pack to ensure that you can always access your phone in case you're, need to ring an Uber because you can't walk another step anymore. Tip number 13. Stay off the coffee the night before to make sure you're sleeping when you should be. Tip number 14. Take hiking sandals with you in case you want to change shoes if the weather permits, so your feet can breathe. Tip number 15. Bring extra clothing, and especially an extra pair of of socks. Extra shirt could be okay, depending on how much you're going to be dripping in sweat. All functional and sweat absorbent, of course. Tip number 16. Wear or bring along a bucket hat or cap to prevent the sun from obstructing your vision. Yes. Tip number 17. Pacing. Remain steady. It is a marathon, not a sprint. This was probably the main reason why I got myself injured during my attempt. I was rushing from the start. Rushing from the beginning wastes a lot of energy and gets you tired from the get-go. How are you going to last for 10 hours if you're already tired in the first hour, you know? On any regular day out, I'll hit the 24k steps, but not if I walk fast-paced and skip breaks. Tip number 18. Find a human or two to accompany you during the hike and to help you with documenting. You know, take some photos. It doesn't need to be someone who accompanies you during the full 100k steps, unless you found someone crazy enough to be willing to do this challenge with you. There you go. 18 tips you can use to successfully attempt your 100,000 steps in one day challenge. And a future reminder for me, so I can just switch on this video and go through this list to check if I'm doing it right. Don't be dumb like me and walk yourself an injury. Take the time to prepare, make a plan, read up on how other people did their challenge and completed it. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video or not. Tschüssi!